Sandy Eimers from Balance Yoga Lounge in Ankeny. And thank you so much for joining us for yoga in the park this morning. It was a perfect day and a perfect crowd. Namaste. And you guys look so comfortable down here. I think I'm going to join you. And we're going to start with a mudra this morning that helps us calm ourselves a bit and turn our attention inward. So first, let's get it out of our system. Let's look around at all of the beauty of nature around us and really take a moment to breathe it all in. Feel the coolness of the air. Feel the warmth of the sun. Look at the trees. Feel the grass and the very solid surface that you're supported by, the surface of the earth. And just take it all in. Also notice all the people around you that share the same energy that you do this morning. And as you pause to take it in, notice the breath. Notice how easily it flows. We're just observing at this point. We're not trying to manipulate the breath or force it in any way. Just relax and take everything in around you. And now we can begin to look inward. And to help us along that journey, we're going to begin with a mudra. I'm going to have you take your index fingers and extend them skyward. When you bend your index fingers, pull the knuckles together so that they're meeting. Then we're going to extend the middle fingers straight up toward infinity. Bring the thumbs together below, pointing downward. And if you look down at your hands with your ring finger and pinky finger curled under, you'll see a heart shape. Oh, isn't that cute? Take that mudra. Place your thumbs right into your heart center with your middle fingers extended away from the center of your being. Bring your elbows out to the sides and soften the shoulders downward. And now we'll just rest into the breath. This is a mudra that brings peace and calm to the mind. And as the mind begins to calm, we notice that there's more space between each of our thoughts. Time for observation. Time to reflect. Noticing some of the tiny things in life that we get too busy to even notice. And drinking those moments in. The coolness of the breeze, the warmth of the sun. Even with your eyes closed, you can draw pictures with your mind. And throughout the rest of the class, we'll do our very best to keep our attention locked within each individual moment, understanding that that moment is our point of power. The past is gone, and the future is yet to come. So relax, do the best you can to stay within your moments of power. And let's just bring the thumbs to the heart. With your next inhale, let's come up to our knees and stretch our fingertips all the way skyward. Just noticing the space between your knees and your fingertips. Let's exhale together to extended child. Bring your hands past your sides and stretch them forward, resting your forehead down to the earth. Immediately, you can feel a sensation of your lower back lengthening and the hips settling downward toward the ankles. Inhale your heart center forward, aligning your shoulders over the heels of your hands. And let's exhale to cat, stretching up the center of the back, rolling the hips under, and allowing the crown of the head to drop into gravity. Reversing this configuration of the spine, draw your gaze forward and roll your hips up toward the sky, softening the shoulders down and away from the ears. Exhale back to extended child, resting your forehead to the earth. And inhale, returning to our kneeling upward salute. We've just created a flow of movement. We're going to continue repeating that with the breath. Exhale, dropping your sit bones and stretching your arms forward. Inhale to hands and knees. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, extended child, resting the sit bones downward. Inhale, kneeling upward salute, stretching your arms, just imagining yourself embracing this beautiful day. Exhale, extended child. Inhaling to hands and knees. Breathing through cat and cow. Returning to extended child. Continue flowing and moving, not necessarily with your neighbor, just following the natural rhythm of your breathing. So many times in exercise, we move the body and ask the breath to follow, but just for today, let's see if we can let the breath lead and ask the body to follow. Moving consciously, watching our bodies move. This is a process of waking up the body, inviting the body into motion. With your next inhale to your kneeling upward salute, let's drop our hands to the hips. And then draw your left foot forward, keeping a distance of hip or shoulder width between your left foot and your right knee. Extend your arms at shoulder height and just experience a sense of balance. Exhale, and let's turn to the left, rotating the torso. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale to the right. And just keep breathing, rotating the spine, exhaling from side to side. Feeling the entire length of your torso rotate around the spine. Challenging yourself to square your extended arms with the long edge of your mat or towel. Coming back to neutral. Let's inhale the arms up. This is a kneeling version of Warrior One. Feel the heart center lifting and the weight of your body evenly distributed between your forward foot and your resting knee. Go ahead and take your gaze upward and notice how that further challenges your balance, looking into infinity. Exhale your gaze back to neutral and your arms to shoulder height. The left arm is forward and the right arm is back. This is a kneeling version of Warrior Two. Feel the energy stretching away from your heart center out toward the fingertips. Gazing forward at your left fingers, raise them upward while the right hand drops back, and perhaps the right fingertips will even cup the back right ankle. If that feels uncomfortable, your right hand can rest to your hip. Stretch the left fingertips skyward and feel the energy moving upward. Activating core strength very slowly and carefully draw the torso back to upright. And let's neutralize the arms once again. Hands to the hips. Let's lengthen out the forward foot, the left foot all the way forward. Inhale your arms skyward, and this time hinge at the hips as you rest forward, pressing firmly through the bottom of the right foot, aligning the hips. And it's difficult not to notice a deep hamstring stretch in the left leg. Draw the belly up near the spine and soften the shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale your left knee forward and let the hips drop straight down into gravity. Noticing as your weight rests forward that the left knee is vertically aligned with the left heel and the hips are falling heavily into gravity. There's very little weight in your right knee. All of the weight is drawn forward into your left foot. Inhale the hips back. You can keep your hands connected to the earth this time. Soften the left knee and walk your fingertips up the left leg to bring the torso back to upright. Hands to the hips. We'll switch sides. Right foot forward. Right knee vertically aligned with the right heel. And we'll extend our arms at shoulder height. And turn to one side and then the other. Passing through neutral, shoulders relaxed and soft. Torso rotating around the length of the spine. Staying mindful of the right knee. As the body rotates, you can get some shifting back and forth. See if you can stabilize the right knee above the right ankle. And coming back to neutral. Inhale the arms skyward. Challenge yourself by lifting your gaze as well. The glutes springing into action to support. And exhale the right hand forward, the left hand back into a kneeling warrior two. Stretching energy away from the center. Feel it flowing through your fingertips. Lifting your right hand skyward, let the left hand drift back to the heel or the hip. Gazing to infinity. Inhaling to activate core strength. Slowly rotate the torso back to upright. Hands to the hips. We'll now stretch out the right leg. Inhale, stretching the arms upward and hinge through the hips as you rotate forward. Stretching forward. Resting the hands to frame the right foot on either side. Pull the tailbone back. Plant the bottom of the right foot firmly to the earth. You can just gaze at the forward edge of your mat, noticing all the different varieties of grass growing away from the earth. Inhale your heart center forward along with the hips. Let the hips drop straight down into gravity. Notice that the right knee is vertically in alignment with the right heel and the heart center is pulled forward. All throughout the class, we're using our Ujjayi breath. The lips are gently pressed together. We're breathing through the nostrils. And it's a slow and easy breath. Draw the hips back. Scoop the belly up near the spine. Soften the right knee, draw the torso back to upright, hands to the hips. We'll come back to our kneeling posture. Inhale, kneeling upward salute. Exhale all the way down to extended child. Inhaling to hands and knees, roll the toes under this time, and we'll exhale together to downward facing dog. Straightening the legs and pressing the heels downward. Lift the tailbone back and up. Softening the shoulders, activating all 10 fingers. Rolling the energy of the upper thighs inward to lift and spread the sit bones open. Inhaling, walk your feet forward to your hands. Rolling into a half lift so that the spine rests parallel to the floor and your palms are pressing into your shins. Exhale, deep forward bend, releasing the weight of the shoulders, neck, and head downward into gravity. And finally, softening the knees and inhaling upright to a full standing upward salute. Stretch it upward, feeling the energy stretch from your heels all the way through your fingertips. Exhale to chair, sweeping the hands past your sides, drawing the tailbone back. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, chair. Noticing as you continue to breathe and transition between these two poses, that with the exhale, the tailbone drops lower, pulls further back. And with the inhale, the heart center spreads open and energy lifts. With your next exhale into chair, we'll sustain chair posture and draw our thumbs into the heart center, just marking an open heart. Taking your right elbow, rest it to your left knee, and point the fingertips off toward the side. Remind the belly to scoop up near the spine and stack the elbows and shoulders. Visualize the spine long as you rest in this posture. Inhale to activate core strength. Push through the bottoms of your feet and slowly bring the body back to a standing posture. Thumbs to the heart. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, chair. Loosening up the muscles. Keep breathing and transitioning. Exhale to chair and sustain the posture. Draw thumbs into the heart. And this time we'll look to the right. Stacking the elbows, stacking the shoulders, and coming back to a deep spinal rotation. Usually on this second attempt, it's when the quadriceps really start talking to us. See if you can move past their chatter, focus to the breath. And whenever you're ready, you can push through the bottoms of the feet and slowly unwind the pose. Relax and breathe. Let's rest our hands to our sides in mountain and just check our posture here for a moment. We spend so many hours of each day in a standing posture. We just take it for granted sometimes. Let's move the weight into our toes. Shift your body weight forward and feel your toes gripping into your mat. Shift your body weight back and feel it resting heavily into your heels. And just keep alternating, shifting forward and back. Finally coming to rest in a perfect upright posture. We'll do the same with side to side, shifting right and then left. And coming back to stillness so that you can feel the weight of your body resting evenly distributed between the corners of all the toes and heels, all four corners of the feet. Marking a position of perfect upright. Now we're all calm and relaxed. Let's change things up a bit. In Ankeny, sometimes we like to take a trip to Tibet, and we think it's a lot of fun, and we want you to experience this fun as well. You can stay on your mat, or you might find that you kind of drift off of your mat for this next pose because it moves a little faster than some yoga postures. We're going to take our arms and spread them out at shoulder height, and you need to make sure you can step off your mat that you're not going to smack somebody in the face if you turn around in a circle, because that's exactly what we're going to do. So if you need to, spread yourself out just a little bit so you've got at least enough space to spin your arms around. Sometimes life throws us a curveball, and we all live in Iowa, so we know what a tornado feels like, but we're going to recreate that experience because when change comes into our lives sometimes, it feels like a tornado has passed through. So let's all spin clockwise first. We're going to spin 3 to 5 times. Bend your knees and take yourself down low and spin 3 to 5 times. Some fast, some slow, you decide. And then stop. Plant your feet. You can keep your arms stretched out for added stability. And once the world comes to a rest, we're going to bend our knees and go counterclockwise. Faster this time. And stop. Now things are really moving. When you feel comfortable, you can bring your thumbs back to your heart, but keep your stance with your feet wide until the world comes to rest. When you feel comfortable, come back to your mat, if necessary. And as you rest and breathe, I want you to think about the sense of invigoration followed by peacefulness that washes over your body. When change occurs in our lives, our first instinct is to fight it. But sometimes you can choose to get on the ride, enjoy the ride completely, and then enjoy the peace and calm that follows, much like the aftermath of a tornado where stillness washes over the landscape. Rest your thumbs to your heart and feel the heart beating. And you made it through the hardest part of the class. Some people have an aversion to spinning, others love it and embrace it. So take just a moment to think about what that last pose might have to say about you. Let's inhale the arms tall. There's that beautiful Iowa summer breeze. Exhale and step your left foot back. We're going to turn toward the rising sun in 5-point star and enjoy some sunflower breaths. Exhale, bending the knees, spreading the inner thighs long, and then inhale, stretching back. Pressing your palms together at 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock, just so that you can experience the energy that's beginning to collect between your fingertips. Heels closer together than toes. The knees resting in perfect alignment with the toes. Inner thighs stretching long. Make sure you're wearing a smile, your biggest asset. Who doesn't love a 3-day weekend? I love my life, and I am grateful for the breath. Noticing how the tailbone begins to sink closer to the earth with each exhale. And finally coming to rest in 5-point star. Feet firmly grounded, arms extended from your center. Let's shift our weight into one foot. Doesn't matter which one you start with. Bend your knees slightly and lift one foot away from the earth, keeping your arms outspread. This is called shooting star. We're going to come back to both feet firmly planted and bring our hands together toward the earth and just transfer our weight to the other side. Coming into balance in shooting star on the other side. It gets easier from here because we're going to transfer from side to side with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling, shifting our weight. Notice how active core strength helps stabilize this movement. To give extra challenge to yourself, you can concentrate on lifting your raised leg even higher or sustaining stillness on each side. Stay mindful of the knees. Flowing with the breath and asking the body to follow. Coming to rest on one side, let's balance here. Making minor adjustments, finding what works for our bodies. Exhale past the middle, rest to the other side. And finally, step the feet together and bring the thumbs to the heart. can turn back toward the lake. You can feel that heart pumping. It feels good. We're going to complete one more series of sunflowers, and this time we'll give an extra option for movement. You can turn to the other side, turn toward the setting sun at Gray's Lake, extend the arms, and move through sunflowers again, reaching toward the earth and then stretching skyward. For additional movement, you can step toward one end of your mat and change directions. You can go all the way around the mat and say hello to every neighbor if you like. Changing direction at will. Hi, Patty. Feeling the length of your arms. Solid earth underneath the bottoms of your feet. And coming to rest again with Namaste arms, heart beating, with the body warmed, a core that is strong. Let's continue with some warrior movements. Let's begin by taking the right foot back. Right foot back. Aligning the heels. Resting hands to the hips. Let's bend the left knee together and drop the tailbone. Taking time to make sure that our hips stay in alignment. It's very easy in this posture for the right hip to draw back. Do your best to pull it forward and soften. Inhale the arms tall. Proud and strong. This is warrior one. Exhale the arms forward to shoulder height. Feel them soften. And pull the right hand all the way back as if you were drawing a bow. Drop the tailbone and flatten your pose. This is warrior two. Let's lower our left elbow to the left knee and keep the right arm straight back. Stacking right shoulder over left. Exhale your right arm past the earth and draw it upward just to the space where it comes into alignment with the length of your spine and your back right heel. Focusing to the energy, the line of energy from your right fingertips all the way through your back right heel. Keeping the tailbone low, let's cartwheel the right hand back and lift the left arm. The left knee is still bent. This is reverse warrior. Now the energy stretches between your left upward fingertips and your right fingertips draping downward. In one complete breath, let's make the transition to triangle. Cartwheeling the arms and straightening the left knee. Lower the torso. Stretching both sides of the torso long. Stacking right over left shoulder. Inhaling to bend the left knee, rotate your torso upright, and come back to warrior two. We're creating a flow of movement with this series. Drop the left elbow, sweep the right hand forward, stopping it just as it comes into alignment with the back heel. Keeping the tailbone low, cartwheel the arms into reverse warrior. Exhaling to triangle. Inhaling to warrior two. Bend the left knee, drop the tailbone, and level out the arms. Left elbow to left knee. Sweep the right arm. Stack the shoulders. Keep the tailbone low. Breathe into reverse warrior. Triangle. And warrior two. Left elbow lowers. Right arm sweeps. It's a wonderful flowing movement that takes our gaze in many different directions, and we're going to focus on the gaze just a bit more intensely here. You have the option of just continuing this series exactly as we've practiced it, or you can add the dristi, the eye gazes. Releasing the left elbow, take your gaze back towards your right fingertips and follow your right fingertips as they sweep upward. Transition to reverse warrior. Let your gaze flow to the left fingertips. Transitioning to triangle. Gaze upward to the right fingertips. Inhaling to warrior two. Gaze toward the left fingertips. So your gaze is alternating from hand to hand with each transition of pose. Moving slowly, listening to the body. Just working to do the best that you can through each and every moment without judgment of self. One last time, all the way through. Staying very conscious of all the muscles that are working to support your pose, and also acknowledging muscles at rest. Finishing in warrior two with your gaze beyond your left fingertips. Let's become conscious of our right fingertips and cartwheel them over the back of the head. Frame the left foot with a hand on either side and step the left foot back to downward facing dog. Walk the dog. Give yourself a break here. Inhale to lift your heels away from the earth and roll into the toes, stretching the sit bones as high as you can. Exhale, rolling through the bottoms of the feet and pressing your heels into the earth. Inhale to roll through the bottoms of the feet, pushing and balancing into the toes, and then exhaling downward. Step the right foot forward to the hands and plant the left heel. Inhale the arms to bring the torso upright, hands to the hips. We'll take a look at the hips here. It's very tempting for the left hip to slide back. Let's make sure that we're using all of our focus and intent to draw it forward so that the hips are resting level and square. You have the option of using the arms in warrior one. But if at any point you feel your foundation starting to crumble, you can just exhale the hands back to the hips. Either option is acceptable. Making the transition to warrior two, we'll lift or lower the arms, stretching through the fingertips at shoulder height, tailbone dropping, and we begin to view our body as very flat and two-dimensional. Resting the right elbow to the right knee, sweep the left hand down and then forward and up, until the arm is resting in alignment with your back leg and the spine. Cartwheel the left hand back and up, coming into reverse warrior, tailbone dropping. Exhale, triangle. Stretch the arms away from center and lower the torso. Lift the back left hip so that you can feel a sensation of the torso lengthening evenly along both sides, not just the top side. Shoulders stacked. Let your attention rest to the tailbone. Push it down, bend the right knee deeply, and draw the torso upright. Right elbow to right knee. Sweep the left hand. You can feel it when it comes into alignment. Cartwheeling back to reverse warrior. Exhale, triangle. Deeply stretching the legs, pushing through the bottoms of the feet, and finishing with an inhale back to warrior two. If you'd like, you can add the eye gazes, the drishti at this point, gazing back at your left fingertips as your right elbow sinks to the right knee, following the left fingertips as they slide forward, and then shifting your gaze with reverse warrior to the right hand. And exhaling into triangle, gazing into infinity through the left fingertips. Inhale to warrior two. You can continue following the rate of your own breath, the gentle rise and fall. Tuning into the sensations, the smells, the sounds of nature. Finally returning to warrior two. Focus into your back fingertips, the left fingertips. Cartwheel them over top, frame the right foot with a hand on either side, and step the right foot back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Resting for a moment within the breath. With stillness inside the body, we scan the body, checking for areas of tension, darkness, heaviness. Draw your next inhale to those spaces and invite them to surrender, to release, to open. Inhale your right foot straight up toward the skies, balancing evenly into the remaining left toes and all 10 fingertips. Let's take our gaze to the right, push through the raised right heel, and then bend the right leg at the knee, letting the weight of your right leg fall back behind you to draw the torso into a transverse stretch that initiates at the left shoulder and travels all the way through the right knee. After 1 to 2 breaths, the right heel starts to feel heavy and the stretch deepens. Inhale, drawing your right toes back up toward the sky, and then drawing the right foot down to the earth. Walk the dog, alternately pressing your heels downward. Feeling the stillness of the day, the increasing warmth of the sun. As the heels rest into stillness, lift your left foot and point the toes straight up toward infinity, balancing comfortably. Draw your gaze to the left. Push through the left heel upward and then bend the left knee, dropping the heel into your sit bones. The heaviness of that heel begins to draw the torso long. Focus into the stretch that originates at the right shoulder and travels all the way through the left knee. Engage core strength to level the hips. Point the left toes up toward the sky. And exhale your left heel back to earth. Walk the dog again. With your next inhale, walk the feet all the way forward to the hands and slip one foot behind the other so that the ankles are crossed. We're going to bend our knees and lower the sit bones and just come to a seated posture. Making sure that our sit bones are well grounded. We practiced this last week. Remember, this is just moving the junk around in the trunk. We want to grab the flesh and pull it away from the sit bones toward the sides of your mat so that you're firmly connected to the earth. And then lengthen your legs one at a time so that they're very long and straight. Pushing through the bottoms of the feet. See your toes fan out in front of you. Let's rest our hands to our sides and inhale the arms directly away from the center of the earth with shoulders soft and relaxed. Keeping tension through the bottoms of the feet, we'll hinge through the hips and rest forward, stretching our fingertips. Imagine them moving and stretching far beyond the length of your legs. And then allow your hands to rest along the length of your legs, wherever it's comfortable. If you can bring your fingertips to the bottoms of your feet, you have the added advantage of being able to use the bottoms of the feet to deepen the stretch. Let's keep our gaze forward and the neck soft, along with the shoulders to begin with. Draw the belly back toward the spine so that the lower back feels long. Imagine that you're sitting in a warm, shallow stream, and there's soft sand beneath your calves and your hamstrings. The back of the legs are just settling into the soft, sandy bottom of this stream. Now begin to imagine the torso floating in the gentle current of the waters above the sand. Allow the chin to roll to the chest so that the back of the neck is long. With each inhale, the body floats upward. With each exhale, downward. All the while, the back of the legs remain grounded into the silty bottom of the stream. And the torso is floating with the current. Lips gently pressed together, continuing to breathe through the nostrils. Feel your eyes resting softly within the sockets. The upper body weightless, lower body well grounded. Inhale your gaze first towards your toes, and then begin walking your fingertips back toward the sit bones. With your hands at your sides, let's stretch one arm upward, keeping the shoulders soft, and with the opposite arm, we're going to come back behind and bring our knuckles to the center of the spine with the palm open. Bend your raised arm at the elbow and see if you can begin to draw your fingertips toward the center of your spine. Some of us are happy just to barely brush our fingertips together. Others will easily clasp their fingertips together. Regardless of your physical ability, visualize perfection in your mind and just begin working toward it. Breathe and let the heart center rest open. Inhale to lengthen both arms, and we'll switch sides. The bottom hand, palm open toward the air behind you. Raised arm, palm resting into the center of the upper spine. Visualize the fingertips sliding vertically toward the center of the spine. Shoulders soft, heart center exposed. The torso strong and tall. Lengthening the arms. Exhale your raised arm back down to the earth. Let's bring the bottoms of the feet to our mat. And take one heel, it doesn't matter which one you start with, but take one heel and rest it to the opposite sit bone. so that the knee is pointing straight forward and the inner thigh is relaxed. Draw your opposite leg closer in towards your sit bones and anchor your hands on either side of the foot. Pushing firmly through the sit bones and stretching the spine tall, lift that heel away from the earth and do the best that you can to lengthen the leg. If you're having challenges gripping the bottom of your foot, you can always transfer your grip to the ankle, but do try to push through the raised heel. Soften the shoulders, draw the heart center upward and feel your sit bones grounding firmly to the earth. Take a moment to assess which leg you have lifted, and we're going to attach the hand from the opposite side of the body underneath the heel. So whichever leg is raised, the opposite hand is now supporting from underneath. We're going to let go of the hand from the same side of the body as the leg lifted, and we're going to come into a nice spinal rotation with leg lifted. Soften the shoulders. Stretch the crown of the head tall. And as you come back to center, wrap your extended arm around the leg underneath the knee so that you can lace your fingertips together and rest them underneath the knee. Now we're going to hold on to that leg. Stretch the heart center tall. Push through the ball of the raised foot. And you just have to know what's going to happen next. See if you can suspend that leg and maintain core strength. And of course, when it gets to be too much, you just start letting it beautifully drift downward. And we'll switch to the other side. Draw the leg that is now exhausted into your sit bones. We're going to place that heel at the opposite sit bone, softening the inner thigh with the knee pointing forward. Draw the opposite heel inward just to a space where you can reach the bottom of your foot or your ankle. Push your sit bones downward, lift the heart center, and lengthen the leg while you raise it. Initially, this is a nice calf stretch and hamstring stretch. You can feel some tension behind the knee. But ultimately, this posture is all about core strength. Remember, whichever leg is lifted, we're going to take the hand from the opposite side of the body and support the ankle from underneath, so that we can rotate into spinal rotation on the opposite side. Draw the belly back toward the spine. Balance and breathe. Remember that anytime we're balancing, equal effort and surrender. It's not about tensing every muscle in the body. Draw your extended arm back and hug that leg underneath the knee for support. Lace your fingertips and position them just underneath the knee. Raise the heart center. Push through the ball of the foot so that your toes spread. Take a deep, strengthening breath, and you're ready to release. And of course, as the leg gets heavier, you can just let it drift slowly down toward earth. And now let's lengthen the legs out in front. Position yourself so that you can utilize the full length of your mat. Let's inhale our arms and exhale the arms straight forward so that your hands are resting on your knees. Round the spine and roll the chin to the chest. And begin placing the vertebrae onto the floor. There's no floor here. This is a beautiful carpet of grass. Round the spine down to the earth, one vertebrae at a time. Use the strength of your arms, pressing into the front of your thighs. And finally, release the back of the skull to the earth. For those of you that are looking for extra challenges at every opportunity, you can reverse this posture. For those of you who've had enough, you can stay right here in preparation for Shavasana. If you're looking for that last challenge, roll the chin to the chest. Activate the arms and roll yourself right back up. Coming to seated upright. And then rolling back down. It's much easier to do this without a battery pack in your lumbar spine. As the length of your torso rests into the grass, see if you can draw your tailbone as far away from the occipital ridge of the skull as possible. Soften the shoulders downward and draw your heels at least mat width apart and allow your toes to splay to the sides. Complete relaxation along the length of the legs. Arms resting in full extension as well, with the palms facing upward. If you find that you're still struggling with finding inner calm and peace, you can recreate the mudra that we began with, resting the knuckles of the index fingers, extending the middle fingers upward to infinity, and drawing the pads of the thumbs together. Rest the thumbs into the heart. Extend the middle fingers upward into infinity, and draw your elbows lifted away from the earth out to either side. Feel the belly expand with the breath. And feel that sense of relaxation, a washing of calm over the body. An emptiness of mind. Taking your time, bringing your mind back to the present, wiggling fingertips and toes. And when you're ready, rolling to one side and drawing your elbows and knees closer to your heart. And when the mind is firmly rooted into the present, still conscious of the breath, extend your arms and press yourself to an upright seated posture. Take your time raising your chin away from the chest last. Resting in a seated upright posture that's comfortable for you, let's bring our index fingers and thumbs together. You can rest your knuckles onto your knees. Let there be peace in my mind. Now connecting your middle finger with your thumb. Let there be peace in my heart. Connecting ring finger and thumb. Let there be peace in my community. And finally connecting your pinky finger with your thumb. Let there be peace on earth. Namaste.